Marcus gave us an opportunity to learn just a little bit about Chat GPT at the time.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
he just went through a little quick demo. We were at open networking and didn't have anything going on, so he showed us, and it got me inspired. And that was middle of January, I think, maybe end of January. And since then, I've been just really intrigued with it and studying about it, watching multiple videos on it, listening to all the pros, cons, and convicts, and it's been really kind of fun. So I've enjoyed it. But I guess what I would say is I'm not an expert. There's probably people here, including Marcus, that are more expert at this than I am, and I'm just a guy. I'm an insurance agency owner. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. I do a lot of things, but so far, AI expert is not part of that. So I'm getting there, but maybe someday, right? We're as good as we think we are.
Well, and
So,
that's the nice thing is we get to learn from somebody who it gives us inspiration that we don't have to be an expert to use it.
right. And that's really why I wanted to share. Lots of times when I get on these webinars, it's something that I am somewhat of an expert on. I'm not today. So
Yeah.
this will be fun. I want you to
Yeah.
note the picture here. When I started to do this slide, I said, I need a picture of a guy shaking hands of a robot. And I looked through everything I could find, and I could not find it. So I went into Bing, Bing Image Creator, which is uh, you're able to type something in and it creates a picture, right? So I said,
Right.
have a businessman shaking hands with a robot on Main Street. Now it took a few more prompts to get there, but that's the picture that I finally came up with, and I think it looks pretty good. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it
look bad.
does.
I mean, I probably could have spent another 10 minutes on it and got a little better, but looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
So today I just wanted to kind of give you the journey that I use. I won't say every day, but a few days a week to create a blog, to take a voice of that and how I do that, and then to make the short little video like Becky was talking about a minute
Okay.
ago. And
11labs.io.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna run you through the three processes that I use regularly, and then have some time at the end for questions, I hope.
Okay.
That's the
Thank you.
plan. You bet. We'll try. If I go over, Becky knows what to do. She's got the electric button and all buzz. But we'll keep moving as quick as we can. I did this on video just in case I wasn't able to be here, and it was 38 minutes long. So
Oh,
um,
okay.
we
Yeah.
should be in pretty good shape. So let's get rolling. The whole thing is, as well as I understand it, is Chat GPT, which is OpenAI, which has been going for quite a while. But they finally made a public announcement in November. And since that time, things have gone wild. Has anybody here not heard of Chat GPT? I can't see everybody right now on my screen, but I imagine everybody has heard of it, or they've maybe played with it, or they've thought, yeah, I wonder what that is. And if you're in any of those boats, congratulations and welcome. The idea that you could sit down and type something in a chat bot and go back and forth and learn something, well, it's pretty cool. I was watching my grandson play with it at one point, and he was having, a 12-year-old can ask more questions than a 2-year-old sometimes.
Yeah.
But the the idea that he could sit there and get ideas, and then he would go into another program, which was an app on his phone, and make a picture. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's not something I would ever use in my business. I don't see any practical application for it at all. And that was kind of my first idea. But I could ask it a question and I could learn something about it. Well, quickly, in a matter of a few days, watching a few blogs, because that's how we learn today, right? Watch YouTube and learn something.
Yeah.
I figured out that there was a use for this and that I could use it for the social media things, for my blog posts, for the things that I don't do very well right now, but I'd like to do. So, this is changing. Every time I turn on YouTube and I start doing a little quick check of the people I follow now, there's a ton more stuff out there. So the programs that I'm going to use today are not necessarily the most current ones. There's probably better ones. They're the ones I learned on. So I'm going to use them. And there's just all kinds of stuff coming out here, and it's fun. So that being said, I'm going to switch my screens around here if I can. This is where it always gets interesting, right? When Jeff tries to run, try that. There we go. So we're going to go in here, and Chat GPT itself is about three different things right now. The company that owns it and puts it out here is OpenAI. And if you wanted to go in and open up a free account with them, you go to openai.com, you'd hunt around all over the page, probably like I did, trying to find something that says join or let me in. And you'd finally see something that says give it a try. I think is what it said yesterday when I looked. Seems to change regularly, which is not bad. It's just, that's the first test, right? Try GPT-4 or try something, and then you get to start figuring out how to get in. Might take a few days when you sign up. I had somebody do that the other day after our meeting last Wednesday. He said it took a day or two to get in. It's limiting the number of people flowing into it every day. And the first thing I found out in January, when things were, I would say, super hot, is that you couldn't really get in very often. So I immediately decided I needed to be a premium member, and I paid the monthly fee, and now I have, and maybe everybody does, but I have access to GPT-4, which is the most current uh, model that they have. So there's three different ones, and you look at it and you go GPT-5, 3.5 is the default. It's okay with reasoning. It's really quick. It's not that concise. And you look at the legacy one, which is the older one. It's okay with reasoning. It's kind of okay with speed, and it's not concise at all. And you look at 4, and the reasoning is all the way there. The speed's a little bit slower, and it's very concise. So I've been using GPT-4 since I got access to it. And hopefully, with any luck today, we can use it and we'll build what I would do. This would probably be the starting point for me, because one of the things you realize is that when you build these different conversations, you can go back in anytime and add in and talk to it more. So if it's something you might want to know more in the future, like, I was looking the other day at best tools for finding cheap flights, and I might want to go back in there and, ask it another question about that. And I can just do it. I would just start back up. It would already know where I'm at. So I've built a few prompts that I've used for other presentations. I'm going to use those same prompts just so I don't have to type. This would take an hour and 20 minutes if I had to type everything again. I'm not I'm not a good typist. I flunked high school typing. So what I usually do, especially with GPT-4, is I give it a little background and I give it some ideas because it's going to help it develop and think through what I ask it to do. So basically, what I'm going to tell it here is I'm a local business owner that owns an insurance agency in Vancouver. We sell all kinds of insurance. Philosophy of being the one insurance agency for all your needs. Target markets, primarily Vancouver, Portland. You get the idea. Tells them a website name. Now I'm going to ask it to act as a marketing expert and tell me what's the best way to advertise my local business and gain new clients from the internet for the lowest cost. Anybody else want to do something like that? Does that sound like a good thing to do? I thought it was
Sure.
a great idea. So here we go. It's going to go ahead and type this out. It types back to you, right? And it takes it a little bit of time because it's not the fastest version of this, but it's going to start by giving us, I think it'll probably give us 6 or 8 things that we need to do to build our business inexpensively. And we'll let it type for a minute. And if these prompts get really slow, this one's not bad. But as they get slow, we'll uh, go to some recordings
It
I made
usually
of it.
does about 5. It's pretty, oh, this one did more.
I think it'll do 8. It did this morning when I recorded I recorded a video in case I couldn't be here. So, and then edited it a little bit ago. Okay, so it's typed out 8 things here that we might want to do. And, first one is optimize your website for SEO. So it's going to be important. Content marketing. We're going to do more of that with this little demo today. And that is, we're going to write a blog post and a social media post.
Hey,
Uh,
¿qué onda? ¿Qué onda? ¿Cómo estás?
Working with local SEO, that's another thing. Google My Business. If you haven't claimed your
Hey,
Google My
me
Business, there's
putas.
folks probably online writer that can help you
Güey,
with that.
¿qué? ¿Me estás jodiendo? ¿Es en serio?
Social media marketing.
¿Pero por qué no te dejaron
Um,
entrar al edificio? What the fuck?
can
Well,
we mute whoever that is,
yeah, I
please?
am. I'm looking for it.
Thanks, Becky. Um, and then email marketing, online advertising, collaborate with local businesses. Hey, that sounds like I take the lead. I think that's what we do every week. We collaborate and build our businesses, right? And then we're going to monitor and analyze the results. Sometimes, like this morning when I did this, it came back and said I wanted to do advertising. And when I've played with Google Bard doing this, it always says advertise, right? Because that's what they're all about. Uh, it's going to vary every time. It's never the same twice. If you type it in twice, it's going to be a little bit different. It does think as it goes through this, or I know don't know the right word, but it's acting like it's thinking. So
Yeah.
then I'm going to tell it, thanks. I really want to get going with my content marketing. I hear it can be a real challenge. Can you give me an idea of what sorts of content I should be making to promote my business? It knows my business is, so let's see what it comes up with. It's really nice to me. It says absolutely, right? So it's going to come back with maybe 8 or 10 things in this one and give us some ideas of the types of things that we'll want to do. There's one that's very specific, local insurance news. Talk about what's going on with the local news with insurance, infographics. Everybody know what an infographic is? I don't know how to make them, but I know what they are. That'd be something to learn. Video content, I like that. Podcast, webinars. Just going to go through these things and I'm going to let it run through the end here. And then I'm going to come back when it's done. I think it'll do 10 social media post. Okay, there we go. So make sure it's relevant, informative, engaging for all your target audience. Stay consistent and create content and maintain a content calendar to help plan and schedule your posts. So we got kind of an idea of what it wants us to do with those 10 things, right? I'm going to go right at it here and say that what I really want to do is I want to make that content marketing plan. And I want to have, I want to post 3 days a week over the next 30 days. Let's go ahead and make me a schedule with some ideas so I know where to start because I could spend 30 minutes or an hour just thinking about starting, without starting, right? Most of us
Right.
are that way. What should I write about today? What should I talk about today? I used to make videos every day. And the biggest problem with that was I had to read something first in order to have an idea, to have a thought, to make, yeah, you get it. It
Yeah.
takes an hour some days to make a 2-minute video. And this way, it's at least giving me some ideas. We'll go back and look at these for a minute. And every time they're different, because I've made a couple of posts on here already, but comes up with different ideas. So this is the kind of thing that your marketing people could really use if you have somebody that does it for you, or if it's somebody that you contract with, maybe they would provide the same kind of format for you and tell you what they're going to be doing. So here's my first week. I've got 4 weeks here. Monday, I'm going to make a blog post, top 5 factors that affect your auto insurance premium. I'm going to right now, so I don't have to come back, copy that. And then, Wednesday, I'm going to do social media, share an infographic on how to have how to save on home insurance, and then a video understanding the basics of life insurance. It's going to do that for all 4 weeks. So when I get up in the morning or go to work in the morning or call my virtual assistant, whatever the case is, I'm going to say, make a post on this today. And I've got that going. Some of the things, the strategy I think is as important. Marcus and I were talking about that at lunch. that's really important that you're consistent, that you say you're going to do it on Monday, do it on Monday, get it done. And then keep all your posts concise and the content on target. And this really helps do that. So there's the video content. So I'm going to I probably did just hang on one second while I copy and paste something here before I mess it up. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take my next little prompt here. You know what's the biggest, hottest job right now? It's
Oh,
called prompt engineering. It's how to write these prompts and all
oh,
this AI stuff so that you get the best results.
huh,
And I saw an ad yesterday. I was just searching them. There's an ad for $300,000 a year for a prompt engineer for a company. So
wow.
there is such a thing, right? So I want it to help me make that article that we just talked about. I want to make it into, I had 500 words, but that's pretty long. Let's do 300-word blog post. Keep it light, informal, and write at a seventh grade level so my customers can understand and avoid any insurance jargon where possible. Okay, I want to keep it pretty good, pretty easy to use here. So we'll get it going here. It'll start to write that. And it's going to talk about the things that are important that determine the rates for your auto insurance, the premiums, and your age, your car, your driving experience, your location makes a big difference. All things are pretty factual. It's doing a pretty good job here. Coverage and deductible. Now, obviously, this is all pretty dependent on my business, but if you typed in your business and took a subject out of that marketing list, it would probably come up with something very simple, very, very similar. Now, what I would do with that, I won't do it right now because we don't have an extra half hour to do it. But I would take that, I'd copy it, I'd use a little clipboard, I'd copy it, I'd stick it over into my Word. I suggest you change some things. Two reasons for doing that. One is you want to make it your own and keep it your voice and not a computer's voice, right? And
Yeah,
the second reason is you want to make sure it's right. If you're the subject matter expert on, in my case, insurance here, I want to make sure it didn't just pull something out of thin air that doesn't make sense.
right.
So, you always want to keep it right. And by doing that, you're making it your own and you're not, necessarily using this. I looked up, I'm writing a book of mine too. And one of the things I looked up was attribution and what's the right way to attribute to this. And that's something to remember. If you're going to use a high percentage of AI content, you really need to attribute it to OpenAI and the sources being Chat GPT or GPT-4. So I don't think there's any legal stuff yet on that, but I'm sure there will be someday. Where did that come from? Okay, I'm going to do a couple more prompts here, get some more information. The next one I'm going to put in here is create a summary of this article for my social media post. And it's just going to make a few lines. Notice it put little emojis in there.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, so I can just copy and paste that into my social media post where I'm ready to go. And that's ready to go. And then I'm going to ask it to make a 30-second, what I call a script. There's got to be a better word. I got to figure out a better word for this. In GPT, script was a great word, but in GPT-4, it creates, all the instructions to go with the script, but you can still use it. But here we go. This is going to be a 30-second script that I use for my 30-second video, right?
Yeah.
Okay, put little emojis again. Keep Becky happy. She likes emojis. I have them how to use them, but
Did you prompt it to do that, or did it do it on its own?
because I said it was social media, it's going
Oh,
to do
I
it.
got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then finally, I'm going to do one more prompt before we go do something else. And I want it to write an SEO optimized headline with the 5 best hashtags for this post. Okay. So that when I go to post this, I've got that information for me or with me. And I'm
Huh.
going to take that. There's my hashtags coming up. I always tell it the top 5. If you don't, it'll, 10, 15, 20 of them, that's too many. You want to keep it
Yeah.
manageable. But so I've got quite a bit of good information there. Any of this stuff I could take and, copy and use it. I'm going to just take, for now, I'm going to take this 30-second script. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go into another program, which is called 11 Labs. And 11 Labs is going to take whatever I put in here in the text box and put it in a voice. Now, there's lots of voices here you can use. I think there's, I'm in the pre-made section here. There's other sections, but I've got my own voice in here.
Oh,
And the
okay.
reason I put my own voice, there's 2 reasons. One, I like it. No. 2, if I decided to have a virtual assistant or somebody in my office do this for me every day versus me doing it, I don't have to be here to do it. So it's kind of a nice way to do things and keep consistent. This consistency is good, right? If you're a
Yeah.
different voice every day, it would be different. So I'm going to make some changes real quick here and just kind of clean this up to what I like and some of the stuff I don't like. Um, some of it I do like, but we'll, I always have a hard time with this line. I don't know why. 5 factors we reveal. And we just want to make this, if it doesn't sound like you, don't use it. Reveal the top 5 can make a difference in auto insurance rates. We'll talk about your driving history, the car you drive, your age, wonder where you live, and the coverage choices. That's all good. It's quick, easy to understand guide that will help you make smart decisions about your car insurance. Okay, it's not too bad. And remember to buckle up, right? Like an insurance agent, buckle up. Check out our blog now. Okay, each one of these lines where I've got a period is going to it's going to put a break. Let's see what else do I do. Well, I get rid of those www. Just remember what I did there. It was www. You might even learn a few tips. Okay, there we go. We don't need those emojis here. So I'll go ahead. I've got my voice in here. I'm just going to generate this. Be pretty quick. Are you curious about what effects your
Hmm.
It didn't work, did it? So sometimes, like Mace, you notice that it thinks that MAZE is much better than MAYS. So, and I got rid of the exclamation mark. So let's do it
Oh,
again real quick. Yeah.
can you hear it, Jeff?
Yeah, we're not hearing anything.
You're not hearing anything?
Yeah,
No.
no.
No. You might be able to hear it, but we can't.
I can hear it. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Did you put it in whisper mode?
No, it's not in whisper mode. It's playing it full volume.
Can you
So
use
we'll come,
Schwarzenegger's voice?
we'll come back to it. I could.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have it programmed in here. We'll come back to it and show you what it looks like as the end product here.
Oh, okay, okay.
Since it's since it's being stubborn.
So this is on 11 Labs, and next you're gonna go to Pictory
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Okay.
Yeah. So now I've got the voice. Believe me, I do. I'm going to
Yeah.
copy this information because I need that information for my fitness bar is in the way. There we go. So I'm going to go into Pictory to make the video.
Okay.
So I'm going to go from script to video because I've got the script I just used for the voiceover. And I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it in here and make a video with it. So I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to go back and grab my headline because I want it to all line up at some point so I know what I'm doing. And I'm going to go back. How do I get rid of this? I've got this big ugly black bar on top of my screen.
I don't know.
It's in the way. It's your whatchamacallit, Zoom bar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so I've got that out there. I want to name it. So we got the name on there. It matches the headline. And then I'm going to go ahead. You can make this so that you can highlight certain words like insurance or car or whatever. I don't really want it to do that. I don't like that myself. And then I'm just going to proceed. And what it's going to do is it's going to make a video based on a template, either their template or one of mine. I've got this one with my logo kind of in
Oh,
there.
okay.
I use one by one because that way it goes into Google Shorts, it goes into Instagram, and looks okay on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I'm going to go ahead and create that storyboard. And what it's going to do is it's going to put those words into, I think we had 7 lines there, but each line of words will become a frame in the story. And it'll pop up pretty quick. Sometimes those words and the pictures don't line up too well. So you can go in and change them. I probably won't spend a whole lot of time changing them right now.
Right.
Don't want to spend all day in here. But let's say that you wanted to change that. You go into visuals and you wanted to, let's put a little rec in there. That looks nice.
Yeah.
And then I go down to the next one. I go to scene 2. We got you covered. That's an interesting crane. Okay. I don't think
So
that's
they, so Jeff, they put the Pictory puts the pictures in or the
yeah,
video in?
it puts the initial ones in there.
Okay.
And then you can go change them.
Oh, and you can, oh, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I put the little gal there with her, we've got
Oh,
her
yeah, I
covered.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not what you'd really want in a video for insurance. And revealing the 5 factors, this looks like some stock market thing.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you have to go change them. Sometimes it does okay.
Could be worse. Got you covered. Could have been a couple grave diggers.
That's right. Sometimes it doesn't come up with what you want. So 5 ideas, I don't know, something that just gets us a better, there we go, put some people in there. So we're going to do that. There's somebody driving. That looks like a great picture for that. Okay. And we'll just go through all of them, come up with what we want there. I'm going to go back to now what they call branding, which puts my intro and my outro in there. Intro is the first slide. And I always like to, I don't know, with me, I want to make it look the same as the other ones. Don't know that you have to. You can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
But I can't remember, my title was what? I think it should still be here.
Yeah.
Well, there it is. 5 factors of car rates. And I'll just use part of that as my first slide. A must read, right? Okay, and then I'm going to go to my outro, which is the last slide. And I've got this nice young lady here that's giving us some good promotional, saying thanks. And get that down there. Check out our blog at mazeagency.com. Okay. So now I want to put my audio in there. I know a couple of the music tracks I like, light, happy things, Sunday morning. It's one I use a lot. Let's put it in there. Apply that. Apply my voiceover.
And
Up.
that's the one you did on 11 Labs, right? The voiceovers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that did I download that? I don't think I did. So I need to download it real quick. Download it. This thing's still in the way. Okay. And now I've got the new one here. I'm going to drop it in there. It's going to put it over the whole video. It does not include anything for the front and back because I didn't do it that way. And then it's going to take it a minute to do this, and it will try and see if it'll. Let's see if this will work. No, I see the problem. Hopefully I can change this. Not that one, Jeff. Never trust me with technical. Man, can you believe this? I've done it all wrong so far. Okay, I just want to get my speakers while they work. Right down
Jeff,
there.
sometimes it can also be that when you're sharing the screen, it's not sharing the sound. That's what happens most of the times when I'm on meetings, on Zoom specifically.
Probably messed it up. Okay, so we'll go back over here and we'll hit the preview. It'll generate the little video and preview. Are you curious about what affects your auto insurance premium? We've got you covered. We reveal the top 5 factors that can make a difference in your rates. We'll talk about your driving history, the car you drive, your age, where you live, and your coverage choices. It's a quick, easy to understand guide that can help you make smart decisions about your car insurance. Buckle up and check out our blog post now at themazeagency.com. You might even learn a few tips to save some cash on your premium. Don't miss it.
Wow.
Okay, could you hear it that time?
Yeah, yeah. It was perfect.
No, I just can't hear
How does
you.
it?
Okay.
How does that clone your voice, Jeff? Did you just do some sample audio and it takes it from that?
What's that?
How does it do the audio? Do you do some sample audio and it just takes it off of that and generates the?
Yeah, I just
Wow.
stripped it. I stripped a couple videos and it, stripped the MP3 file out of the video and
Wow,
uploaded it and boom, it was there.
that's wild.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So the last thing I would do, and I'm gonna have to unplug and plug that microphone in. The last thing I would do would be to go ahead and download the video, and then I'd post it onto YouTube and onto social media. And I'm gonna let it go for just a second here, and then I'll just let it run in the background, and it will email me that video when it's all done.
Wow.
A link
So,
to it.
so I'll see this later on Facebook, right?
You may, if I get around to posting it. I've done several in the last couple of days, but yeah, I may wait a week to put this one out
Oh,
there.
okay, okay.
So
Jeff,
what?
just curious, what plan are you using on Pictory?
It's like a $20 a month plan.
Okay, because I saw they had several different varieties. So
Yeah. So if you're going to do that and just not selling anything, but if you're going to do it, drop me a note. I'll give you the link to Victory. It's a 20% discount.
okay,
Saves you 20%, saves me 20%. We help each other. So here's my YouTube channel. This is my shorts page. And just to give you an idea of what's going on here, I just posted this one a few minutes ago before the meeting. So there's no views there yet. But this was one that I did when I made the video this morning. I made this video and it's no views. Most of these are getting, if I do it during the week, this one was on Sunday, had 8 views. Not many people look at YouTube on Sunday, I guess, but lots of these are getting 100 plus views. When I go back to a few months ago, oh, it's not going to let me do it now, I guess. It's only putting the newer ones up. But if I go back to the ones there we go. Some of mine, they were lucky to get 20 or 30 views most of the time. So it's getting a lot more views doing the same information, basically. So I think overall that's going to give you a better, not a marketing expert, that's going to give you better exposure the more views you get. I'm going to go and post those things now once they're out there. I'm using.
Hey, Jeff.
Like, yep.
Jeff, I'm gonna pause you right there. Instead of everybody sending out that you want I'll be sharing the replay with Jeff's information, and then if you want, he can probably even give me his picture link.
Yeah.
At that
In
time,
fact,
I'll send it out instead of
sure.
everybody in the chat, because it's very disruptive. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. So anyway, then I'll go post it. I take that headline that I had and the short intro to it
Uh-huh.
with the link to the website and my hashtags. And I'll post it on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram. So that's
How's
kind of
it
what
how's it doing on LinkedIn? Has it
it's doing good.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
this isn't my insurance page, but I have one specifically for the business, and that page does better than my main one. So there we go. So here's what I've done, and it might be easier too. If you want to join my little Facebook group, we can share information. What I'm really thinking about is if we connect and collaborate and help each other with this AI stuff in your business and my business, it'll all be helpful for all of us. And I'm willing to spend a few hours a week or an hour a day or whatever it takes to try to keep up with this. There's a zillion people out there making videos on AI right now, but sometimes it's nice to have somebody local that and help each other. So that Facebook group's AI for your biz is the group I set up, I don't know, probably last night.
Oh,
And
okay.
happy to just, it's a little Facebook group to chat. There's probably nobody registered for it yet because you're the first people to know about
Yeah.
it.
Well, that's
what,
cool, Jeff.
yeah. And then, I just want you to remember the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. One of my favorite things. You can't make it happen unless you do it, right? So you got to take a
Right.
step. And then again, the sky's the limit with this stuff. It's going to keep changing. We can sit on the sidelines and get run over. We can get in front of it and try to stop it. There's people doing that. Probably end up getting run over. Or we
Yeah.
can just go and learn what we can, do what we can. We don't have to be experts. I'm a walking testament to that. I think, I'm getting more people every day liking the stuff, and I'm also getting more people every day calling me up saying, "Hey, tell me about this." So I really appreciate your time. Thanks, Becky, for letting me do this today, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, actually, we're gonna just turn to this is a great time to start asking questions or kudos. It's a great time for kudos for Jeff. And so we'll just open it up to anybody who wants to. There's a lot of names there I don't recognize. Jeff, Lynn.
I'll jump in really quick. Jeff, this is just pretty amazing stuff. I've been curious and I've been a little hesitant to jump in, but this kind of gets me going. I have a buddy in Texas who works in real estate, and he's turning 60 this summer, and he's been using AI, one of the programs. One of his jobs for his company is to go out and when they get a new listing, to write the bio for the house, the listing. And he said, I don't think they realize I'm using AI. He said, it does a way better job than me. And what used to take forever, because I'm not very good at this stuff, is a snap. And they all think I'm a star. So you can find some applications, but seeing how you're using this really opens some doors, not only for possibly me, but I see a lot of people in the groups that can use this. So good presentation.
Thanks, Lynn. You know, I can tell you it was taking me about an hour to do a blog post. And now I do that whole thing in about 45 minutes. So yeah, it just saves a lot of time too.
Yeah, amazing.
So
Jeff,
really cool stuff. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, Jeff, I think that probably the biggest struggle with getting started in this is just figuring out how to write the best prompts. And so rather than paying somebody $300,000 a year, can I hire you for a minimum wage?
Sure, you can do that. Minimum wage is perfect.
Yeah, but no, if you have any tips on writing good prompts, obviously you were very specific in the intro information that you gave Chat GPT. But if you have any good hints on that you'd like to share, we'd love to either hear it or see it in writing, either way.
Yeah, well, I think, our Facebook group would be a great place to do that. We can share with each other.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
I watch stuff almost every night, just learning about that subject. And I think, nobody's perfect. But the cool thing is by modifying it a little bit, you make it your own. And it produces a different content by making it your own. Marcus is shaking his head. Thank you, Marcus.
And so Alan, you going to ask a question or say something next?
I was just going to add that 11 Labs is actually pretty cool. I had no idea that existed, and I'm actually thinking, from our perspective, for our business, my wife is more the face of the business. I'm thinking I could record her voice and actually win an argument. I mean,
Good luck, Alan.
thanks. No, but I could actually promote the business a little more efficiently that way too. So yeah, cool stuff. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that.
You bet. I put my grandson's voice in there. He had a project to do the other day, and he said, "Well, I want to know how it's going to sound when I make the presentation." So we put his voice in, and he made the presentation to himself, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice. Andrew,
Yeah.
you unmuted. So did you have a question or something you want to say?
Yeah, a great presentation. I really appreciate this. My
Thank you.
question, my question is for the 11 labs. Like, do you have any tips on like how long of audio or what type of audio, and just what's the training process like to make sure you get good quality?
With what I did was I took about 3 2-minute videos that I'd made before, and I stripped the audio into an MP3 and just uploaded those 3 files. And it learned everything it's doing right there. It learned from those 3 files. So
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I've taken, like TJ, my grandson, I took him and I just had him read a book, one of the little kid books to me, and it got his voice. So, I mean,
Wow.
you can do it about any way you want to. You just have to capture an MP3 file, and you can
Okay.
put, I think, up to 100 of them.
And you don't even have to annotate it. Like, here are the words in the file. You just give it the file and that's enough.
Oh, it's going to learn from the file.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll just learn the voice from the inflections and everything. And then once it puts the words into the chat box there, then it'll use those words. So
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So is it still going to have my weird accent? Because
I
I was
bet it
hoping
will.
if I did it,
I bet it will.
people don't like it. So
You can just choose a different voice instead, Becky.
yeah, I think so. I'll use Lynn's.
Use Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, this is one of the guys in our Tuesday group did a deep fake video of me doing a kudos video for him. So this gives me a glimpse of how he did some of that, because there are
Yeah.
videos of me giving testimonies, and he's seen those, and he's got video of me, he's got my voice, and he's got the know-how. So now I kind of know how he did that.
So now you should do it back to Brian.
He doesn't have any available video anywhere. He's
Well,
invisible on the web.
there's some really cool other programs that you can actually, either with just a face or with a body, you can actually make a video. And didn't want to go into that today. It takes a little bit longer, but it's pretty amazing. I can just take your picture and actually make you do about anything you want.
Yep.
So, Kari, did you have you had unmuted? Did you have something you wanted to say? Or
Oh,
ask-
just that, oh, we just don't want to lose your accent. That would be,
Oh.
that would be horrible. Do all of you
Well, thank
feel,
you.
after seeing Jeff's presentation, do you all feel like, wow, what world have we just entered?
I know.
Oh
I
my
know.
goodness, it's unbelievable. Thank you,
And I have-
Jeff.
And I have to say, for his photo with the guy shaking the hand of robot, I would have gone with Terminator robot. That's just me.
That's a little scary for me, Lynn.
And you did that on Bing, on the Bing AI? Is that what you had said,
Yeah.
Jeff?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the
could have-
big image creator, right?
You could have Arnold reaching down and says, "Come with me if you want to save on your auto premiums."
Yeah, you probably could. Now, I did try to put somebody's, a famous person's face in there. It wouldn't let me.
Oh,
So-
really?
That program is Wall-E. Wall-E is the program that they actually base that on. And it's an OpenAI platform. And I don't think they'll let you use, I tried to use Kevin Costner because I thought he'd be cool to have on my thing,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't let me do it. So,
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'd
Jeff.
go with Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, that's the voice to use right there. Jeff, that was awesome.
I
I was
did
gonna
it.
ask you, have you played around with it on YouTube? Did you know you can put a YouTube URL in there and tell it to in the title of the video and tell it to summarize it for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been pretty fun to me, is messing around with that.
One of the things you got to remember about GPT or GPT-4 is that it's, 2021 data. So if you went and asked who won the elections in 22 in Washington State, it would just, I know there was elections, but I don't know who won. So,
Yeah.
Google Bard or even a couple of the others that are out there I've played with, they're a little bit more current. So, yeah.
Good. And Steve, I gotta read what Steve said in case you guys, he said, just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should.
If you want to hear some interesting stuff, to me it's interesting. I'm geeking out a little bit, right? But when you go listen to the president of OpenAI, you listen to the president or the guy in charge of Bard at Google, they're all very concerned, which makes me feel good. They're very concerned about how this could be used for evil or how this could be used by Putin or whoever.
Yeah.
And they're really trying to keep this under control. But I think the overall overriding statement is we need to come up as a society of how we're going to, put a top on this because we don't want it to be used for bad.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that bothers me with it, if there is a bother.
Yeah.
It
I
needs
think-
some moral values.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can have, but the people using it are the problem, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think that the ability to do some of what you were showing us today is awesome in terms of research and grunt work. And, we're, as small business owners, we're required to be experts in a bunch of stuff. Just because we're good at one thing doesn't mean we know how to write copy, for example. And
Right.
the fact that this can help us with that is great. And this is more practical than a lot of the other stuff I've seen. I know a guy who does, he has basically a marketing firm, and they were experimenting with using a lot of what we were looking at today to create videos.
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, the videos were not there.
Oh,
They,
really?
they were scary.
Yeah.
And he was using high-end stuff. It's hard to make a face we're used to looking at those all day, right? And so when something isn't quite right, our brain freaks out. And you don't really, if this is a marketing piece, you don't you don't want the people watching it going, "Ugh."
Right.
But
Yeah.
so I was waiting to hear how the vocal, how the recording worked, and that was better than some that I've heard before. I mean, this is all it's only going to get better, right? But
Right.
So I could see yourself using this. Now, my question for you, Jeff, is you're used to doing videos and stuff. Why would you use 11 labs rather than just re-recording your own audio each time?
Yeah, so I think the biggest reason, to be honest, Steve, is that I probably am going to have my daughter do a lot of this. And if I have her do the whole thing from start to finish, she's my assistant, right? She can do the whole thing, and she can probably do it twice as fast as I do, because that's the way she is. But she could do it and have it done, and I wouldn't have to even touch it, which would free up, 45 minutes to an hour of my day. So I'm looking for that right now, free time.
That makes total sense.
And you could use a VA, and VAs in the Philippines or wherever they might be are really inexpensive, right, Marcus? You've told me that.
Yes, that is true.
And they do good work. So, yeah.
Yeah, they work very well.
I think that, the ability to do things, make things easier, save. I don't think it's going to, it will replace some people, right? Copywriters, I might be a little bit nervous right now, but it will replace some people, but it will give a lot of us the ability to have more free time, more time to do things that are meaningful for us and less grunt work, which I think is really where, to me, that's where this is fun.
And Jeff, with the Hollywood writers' strike pending,
Hey, I'm ready.
There you go, man, for anything humorous.
We'll work it out.
Yeah,
I just put in the chat that group for Facebook if that's easier too.
oh, okay, yeah, I wrote mine down, but also, Jeff, will you send me over your Pictory, was it Pictory account?
Yeah.
Or
I'll get that code.
whatever you have.
Yeah,
Email
it's a
that
code.
to me, and I will be I think somebody had to leave, but I will be sending out the replay. And Joyce, I'll email you about the Zoom. I got your message. So so are there any other quick questions while we have Jeff here? We have 5 minutes. Jeff,
Good
you
stuff.
did good.
Yep.
There's the Pictory. There's a Pictory code, Becky, if you want it. Chat.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You bet.
Jeff, I have a question for you too. I know there's been a lot of AI with like image generation and stuff. Have you done anything with that one to maybe also help with the development of photos for those videos or anything like that by chance? Or logo information or something like that?
Yeah. Well, the video, obviously the image on the front page there was something. I tried to, I don't understand Discord. You use some of those programs, you have to use Discord, and maybe somebody does, but I type something in and 5 minutes later, I'm still waiting for it. So I guess I'm too stupid for it. I think there's easier ways to do it. I'm playing with a program. I started to tell you I was writing this little book, and it's going to be a kid's book, and it's going to have cartoons in it. So I started playing with that, and I'm playing with that. I just haven't got far enough along. I was busy the last couple of weeks, but yeah. So anyway, that we'll get there.
Jeff, I didn't get it.
You think it's not in chat?
I don't have anything from you in chat.
In the chat?
Yeah, I don't.
In
You
chat.
can email it to me though, right?
Okay, yeah.
I don't have your group page either. Does it anybody else?
Jeff, you sent it to me because you're replying to my post.
Oh, that's why.
Oh,
Jeff,
Sorry.
might be a good
Oh,
email for
it's
you.
direct message, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll get them both here. Everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff, what would be a good email for you? I found this one online, but I'm not sure if it's the one. It's jeff@themaceagency.com. I would love to know a little more.
Yeah,
You bet. Yeah.
and again, I'll be sending that information out in when I send you the replay. I'm really
Yeah.
good at, it'll be coming
Looking
out in a
forward to
couple
it.
hours, so yeah.
Yeah, if there's anything I can do to help you, this
No,
isn't
and
a
you know
big
what?
business. There's my
When we
other
talked
email.
about the values part, it was very interesting because I work with medical records in the part of life insurance. And then when I was asking some test questions to Chat GPT, it was saying, I don't know if this is such a good thing to talk about because it has you need to have HIPAA authorization, you need to have
Right.
all of this and all of that. And I was like, it's good that it has these, core things that are not going to allow it to do something
Yeah,
scary, It's
Exactly.
important.
that's
Yeah,
good info.
I've done the same thing. I've asked it actually trying to cheat, right? Ask it some social security stuff, and it says, "I'm sorry, we can't tell you that."
Yeah, wow. Who's gonna win the lotto? Oh, wait a
That's
minute.
Yeah, what are the next Powerball numbers?
Yeah.
That'll give
Yeah.
them to you, Leonard. Just wouldn't take it.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate it. I know it's been a tough couple weeks for you, and sorry about your loss with your mom.
You bet.
We're really, really especially glad that you're here today. So it was great information. You did a great job. So
Thank you, and thanks everybody. I appreciate you all being here. It's great.
yeah,
I think you
you.
need to do this. You need to do this in about a month and a half, 2 months from now. Do it again.
I know,
Yeah.
because it'll be
I'm
all
serious.
different.
See how
And-
it's
and
changed,
because-
right?
Because
Yeah.
we all need to talk to everybody and tell them this was great.
Yeah.
You got to be on the
Oh,
next
yeah, to
one.
be here. Yeah, exactly.
You
Exactly.
bet.
And
I-
every 2 months and into the future.
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing some of that in the group. I've got
Yeah, excellent.
another
Okay.
insurance group I've started too for AI. So yeah,
Cool.
awesome.
Good. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
you.
everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jeff.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.